Hello, welcome to our workshop, Authentic Relationships.
Good morning, I'm Robert van Kooten,
Yes, and my name is Patricia Taylor.
and together we are Inner Source Galicia.
Yay! So, for today we like to dive in this topic, authentic relationships, and this is for us a topic that is very interesting because you can look at so many different ways of relationships and authenticity also. So, we have a few bullet points that we are paying attention at this workshop. And the first one is what are non and authentic relationships? So if I talk about non-authentic relationships, Robert, what comes up by you?
Um, well, there are many different ways that you can, as you already said, define authentic, also relationship, but um, maybe toxic could be a word for it to replace it or to
Mhm.
use it. But if I look at myself for non-authentic relationships, there was a time in my life I was not aware of being authentic or not. So in that period, almost all my relationships were depending on how I was in a neediness position or in filling in how the expectations of others, or in short, I was not myself.
Mhm.
So for me, non-authentic relationships contain a part, maybe completely, but at least a part in which I'm not my pure self.
Yeah, very good. And if I describe something from out of my vision, non-authentic relationship is also the relationship between a parent, between mother and child, between friend and between friends, in family. So there are many ways to look at this. And from my own experience, I had a long time a non-authentic relationship with my son. And that was really a very tough journey for me to yeah, to realize this. Because for me everything was healthy, and then on one point I started realizing that actually I was suffocating him. So I really need to dive in my topics to, or I really dived in my topics to understand my own behavior in this. So I really lived my part in in being a non-authentic relationship to my son.
Yeah, for me, another example could be work.
Mhm.
I have the experience of being um, in short periods of work with many different employers.
Mhm.
And one of the reasons was that if a manager asked me, Robert, can you also do this, or can you do this extra, or whatever question, I always would say the answer which I assumed that the manager would like to hear. So I was not honest to myself and not honest to the manager. And so that was for me, looking back, clear evidence of non-authentic relationships in work.
Yeah, so these are just a few examples of how we experience this in life. And to make a bridge to the second bullet point, the effect of this in the four areas of life, we like to explain a little bit more about what are the four areas of life. So there are four different topics that it affects all our decisions. So the first thing is our body. So I realize now we really have to open up by sharing more about the effect of the four areas in life.
Exactly.
Four
There
areas.
should be at least four bullets more
Yeah,
between the effect and which emotion.
yeah,
And then we can talk about those four areas. So that the
yeah,
four areas are physical, the
yeah,
body,
yeah,
emotional,
yeah,
emotions,
yeah,
spiritual, the everything which is has to something to do with your higher self, And the fourth one is
How do you live?
how do you live?
Literally, how do you live in the now? Do
So
you do the things you love or not? Yeah.
yeah, and you mentioned already the now, so maybe we also should put a bullet of the now because that's everything. It's like the kernel, it's the core of everything for us.
Hmm.
We got the now moment,
Yeah.
and then you got the four aspects of life.
Yeah.
And in these four aspects of life, we encounter um, non-authentic relationships or authentic relationships or partly or whatever. And these create effects in the areas, and these effects could be emotions, which touches all aspects or not. It's all possible. And also it creates effects. And yeah, so it's like it's like a moving area of the disciplines we have put on the whiteboard.
Yeah, exactly. So, um,
And
we
yeah,
can go two directions now. We can uh, share more about the four areas to dive in, or we can also say, okay, what is an authentic relationship? So then we need to tell you more about what is authentic.
and that depends on the person who is expressing the authenticity. So I can express my authenticity or what I see or feel as a truth of authenticity,
Hmm.
which could be different from the way you are looking at authenticity. But for me, it's being pure, aligned, honest, and expressing what I feel, how it is in my system, and how it's in my energy field. And that's a whole, how do you say it? It's quite a thing to really, really live up to that because it's constantly checking, is this pure for me?
Hmm.
Is this, am I aligned when I feel it's pure?
Yeah.
And can I say this without pushing it over the fence to the other person in this now moment?
Yeah. So, uh, one of the basic things that shows up in this is if we have a non-authentic relationship, that means that we are driven by fear, by anger, by different emotions, by negative emotions, because we are, in whatever reason, we are scared to speak out what we really want, or to hide or to run away from certain feelings, don't want to see it. So all those negative emotions, you can say actually in every non-authentic relationship is ruled by negative emotions under it,
Mhm.
under the level.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't even realize it's a negative emotion. It's like it's a program in your system that, for instance, the example of work,
Yeah.
for me, it took many, many, many different employers or years, or how do you want to see it,
Mhm.
to realize that, hey, this is my behavior, which is not helping me. It's like it's even it's disturbing me. It's like sabotaging me. And in the end, it caused physical problems, not sleeping, being really stressed, frustrated, overworked, whatever. But it was like that was the final signal for me to start investigating, okay, I'm doing something wrong or something is wrong with me or whatever. So it could be finalized in something physical, like in my case. Or sometimes you realize it's a negative emotion, and then the realization can help you.
Mhm. Yes, and it's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing process because we are human and we are development and developing, uh, um, yeah, developing new knowledge and new mirrors for ourselves. And we talk about mirrors now. Okay, let's go back because it makes a very
No, no
difficult.
mirrors, no mirrors. We are excluding mirrors.
Yeah. Um, but you need one of the biggest step to do is to start looking at your own mirror, what you feel. Mm, okay, we go too deep now, so I really like to. What is for you a authentic relationship?
I already answered that question.
Okay.
That was the part in which it's pure, aligned,
Oh yeah.
and telling, able to be able to tell what I feel and how I um, experience the situation in the now.
Yeah.
How is that
Okay.
for you? How is for you an authentic relationship?
Um, for me is the that I feel safe and safe to show myself and to show my vulnerability. And because by feeling safe, it gives me the opportunity to really understand more of my emotions that I try to push away when I did not feel safe in a relationship. So even if that means that my bucket of all my old emotions garbage comes out, I know it's just part of finding my alignment. And in an authentic relationship, I feel safe to show it. And I think the difference for me is when I have a non-authentic relationship, I make more negative emotions stuck. And when I feel safe, it gives me the opportunity to become more and more in the alignment of me. So it gives me the opportunity to grow in me.
Hmm.
Yeah. So for the first steps, because it's a very uh, big topic, and you see by just opening this space to talk about this, you see how much different ways you can navigate through. And for this workshop, the first steps is to take steps to be aware of this topic. And the what we really um, use in this is the light language activation. And the light language activation has all to do with the hand on the heart to bring our awareness to our heart, because our heart is our guide. I'm going to write this down too. Heart connection. Okay. Is the basics of everything if you want to find your direction in life. It has all to do with starting to connect with your heart. And uh, yeah, I can say already this. Um, the experiences when we tell people to put their hand on the heart, already a lot of blockages comes up. So people think something about put your hand on your heart, and it is actually the guide of getting the information done. And the moment you say, no, I'm not gonna do it, or I don't feel safe, it's already the first step to acknowledge that there is something between you and making the step to your heart. It's really step number one. Put your hand on your heart and see if you can do it like this, or that you have to cross over all the first steps that are under it, even without any activation or anything. This is just step number one.
Yeah, and maybe in other words or in my words, the heart is your personalized, your customized compass.
Mhm.
So, and there's so many programs around this planet and on this planet and created by whoever for ever and ever and ever
Yeah.
to disconnect us from the heart. So we are so used to be disconnected that it sometimes takes an effort, an extra effort, that the mind is already blocking it. And what Patricia is saying, that there are many, many blockages are possible when you put your hand on your heart. Because if you put your hand on your heart directly, the connection creates that the mind is less active. It's not away, it's not shut up, but it is just being put on the second place. And the first place is my compass. So this compass slash filter helps me to make decisions based on what is needed for me. So that's why authentic or non-authentic relationships are based on the compass. So my compass is customized for me, and Patricia's compass is customized for Patricia. So there could be a difference. It doesn't need to be, but
Mhm.
there is a possibility of slight difference or bigger difference, and that's not important because everybody has his own truth. So first, the first activation will be the connection to the heart. And Patricia's making notes. I'm really curious what that's putting there.
Okay, one of the notes I make is something that came up in the background is by all the teams that are connected by not being seen is lower self-image is also part of the non-authentic relationship.
Yeah, I think every part we follow in our 3 month course will be somehow um, like a puzzle pieces fitting together in every aspect.
Yeah.
So
So I'm just writing down some notes.
yeah, so to expand, to make it put more information in the course,
Yeah.
in the workshops.
It is because just by uh, doing this tryout, we see, okay, it's, if you have like a few bullet points, it's very nice to go through that bullet points, but there are many things that connected to it.
Yeah,
And uh, just by looking back at this video, we already see the program changing.
yeah, yeah, and that's good because this is a tryout, and
Yeah,
maybe it's even promotion material, but
yeah,
it's like this is how we work. We try it out, we feel and search and
yeah,
have resonation with both of our energies,
yeah,
and it has to be pure,
yeah.
and it has to be authentic, and it
Hmm.
has to be out of connection with the heart, and then we still believe to put this on the map because it's very important because we have experienced in many, many years of working separately and together that these are the pillars of where people are um, can be helped in.
Yeah, yeah. So,
So let's end this recording and say this is good enough for part one, and later on
for us, part one,
for us,
yes,
yeah, and
yes,
then create later on
yeah,
a new part.
yeah.